Welcome.
FZ07 bullshit on series. I'm gonna turn a wrench. This makes me customize it.
In my opinion, that sucked.
It's way cooler than a build series. We're gonna bolt things onto it instead. Totally different. By the title of today's video, you'll see we're going to be getting rid of these horrible turn signal things and this monstrosity on the rear here. The goal is to replace this stuff with something that looks cooler, but still legal and just as safe, if not safer. And I think I figured out the best products to do that with. What's really cool about this is you won't need to solder anything. So if you're worried about electronics, you don't like soldering, you should be completely fine with everything I've got here. Let's start off by talking about the Proton 500 lights. These are actually programmable front turn signals. You don't really see that. Look at these LEDs. Thank you, truck. Thank you. Come on. Yep. If you've ever seen what an actual nice looking LED looks like, you can tell these are not just those China parts bin LEDs that are used on most of these turn signals. Like this actually has an acrylic filling on the back. So this is completely, you could dunk this in water, it would be completely fine. They'll be way brighter than the stock ones, let alone those crap Chinese LED ones. You can't see, you ever seen those? You can't tell when they're running. Your buddy puts them on his bike and you're like, I can't tell if your turn signals are on or not in the middle of the day. Like nighttime only turn signals. Anyway, that's gonna be a good kit. The back end here is all gonna be done by Moto Dynamics. This here was something I already opened and couldn't figure out how to get back in the box. That's not their fault, that's mine. Very nice and clean fender eliminator bracket here. It's gonna fill in all the weird gaps and replace that horrible fucking thing on the back there that looks like shit. This is the bits to put turn signals on the rear end if you'd like to do that. We're not gonna do that though because we also have from Moto Dynamics. Don't worry, it's made of metal, it would have been fine. But this is the integrated tail light right here. They have a lot of these tail lights for the FZ07 that look like a woman's lady parts, you know what I'm saying? Like, looks like a fucking vagina on the tail light. This will not. Actually, the first step is not to read any instructions whatsoever and just start unbolting things. Two 5mm Allens under the seat right here. This one right here is a 8mm, 4mm Allen right here. Then a large 6mm Allen back here. This one has a kind of spacer thing underneath there, so don't lose that. Then you'll have a number of these little plastic push pin things. It'll look something like this. You'll take a little something to press it with. You'll push the center of it. It'll pop in like that, and you can pull the whole thing out. The last one is up under here. You actually have to go onto the other piece of plastic, but it binds the two together. There we go. Then we'll slide this forward gently. There's a little plastic thing that has to pop into there, so you gotta give it a little yank to pop it off. I'm gonna start unplugging all the wires here. There's a white zip tie right here. I'm gonna gently snip this without cutting the wires. Okay. 4 8mm hold this thing down. Apparently there's another little pin thing right here I needed to remove. Remember to take care of this thing, you might want to reuse it one day. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this little tail light, license plate light thing, what do you want to call it, in here? All right, these look like they're very small 7mm bolts here. Nuts. Don't go crazy on these, it is going into a small piece of plastic. We're gonna use the stock hardware to bolt this back on. To reset these little pins, by the way, you want to make sure that they're pushed all the way in the opposite direction, like that. That's how you start them. Here, and up on there. You simply push it in and you just push the pin and see, now it's locked in. So you want to grab, this is the little, it's gray on this end, you want to hook this into it. Like I said, there's no soldering involved in this. This will hook straight up and kind of pull these little rubber pieces back. You'll slide up your little insulators after you get it on. Right, let's give that a quick test. Oh yeah, whoa, crap, that's bright. And I'll worry about tucking the wires in a minute. I still have to hook in the rest of this stuff there. Then we'll worry about tucking it all in. There are a few parts you'll actually need to move over from the old tail light to the new tail light. You pop these little metal pin things out for just a second, and we can push these big rubbers out. So just go in like over here. These are just the squishy rubber doohickeys. They don't have a name. That's what they're called. Don't argue with me. All right, there's two more little rubbers on either side. And then finally these little metal clips here, which just pull right off. All right, let's feed these wires in. I use the factory hardware, of course, to bolt this back down. You can tell this is built well, that everything lines up so perfectly. I've put some of these on before where it's kind of funky. You know, you gotta leave things real loose and sort of force it all in there. The white plug's pretty obvious. To make your turn signals work, you have this big old fat restrictor thing. I mean, you could just leave this all in the trunk. We'll try to find somewhere nice to put this when it's all said and done. But right now, let's see what we can figure out. I'm going to once again assume that they've colored this correctly, yellow with yellow, and the blue with the blue. They make it easy, don't they? Here's where I don't know for sure which one's which, so it won't hurt if we have it wrong for a second. We'll just check. I'll plug them in this way, and if they're switch swapped, well, we'll switch swap them back. Well, that's already a good sign. It's working. Let's go with the turn signal. And I have them reversed. Holy crap, that's bright, first of all. Let's see what that do. Oh my god, that looks cool. Holy crap, that's cool looking. And you got your... There is a rubber plug on the back side of this thing. You would pop it off and you actually it just clicks. There's a button in there. I'm not gonna bother doing it because it's literally on the settings I want it to be on. The only thing I need to do now is find a place for all this good junk. And I think once I have the side fairing back on, I may try tucking this bigger box onto the side there. But we need to get the fairings on first and kind of see how that all lines up. All right, reverse process. We'll just put it back together. My thinking is I might try to put this into here. There is a bit of a gap in there. I think I might be able to fit that. Oh yeah, that goes in there, no problem. I don't like leaving these on with just these because these are tightened on with little wing nut things, little thumb screws, and people steal plates, man. This plate kit comes with the extra hardware for those brackets, so I actually have some very clean nuts and bolts right here, so I'm actually gonna use some of that to bolt the plate down. First thing I'm gonna have to do is remove this tiny little windscreen I put on. An Allen key right here on the side I'm removing. Here we go. So this whole front end kind of hinges open here. It looks like there's a little pocket. How cute. We actually have a really big access hole right here. That's kind of nice. So we should be able to sort of pry up on this little rubber piece right here and get this plastic piece to come off the other side. I might need to use a small screwdriver here. Yep, there we go. That's easy enough. Just kind of a little bit of pressure on one side, and there's that piece. Now this should just a little bit of effort. There we go. That was easy. This thing comes with a magnet, by the way, and it just keeps sticking to everything. Apparently that's how you program them. You just wave a magnet over them. So if you know your buddy has these, I shouldn't be saying this because I might be setting myself up for trouble, but if you know someone's got these and you want to play with them, just bring a magnet. So I gotta give you a smaller washer. You see what it's gonna do? It's just gonna pinch it up here in the corner. This little nut they give you has got a little locker on the back side here. That's nice. Don't go crazy on this. This other end is just going into like a plastic and acrylic stuff on here. It's not gonna move. That's good. God, that looks way sweeter already. I'm gonna go do something with a multimeter. Wait, you might have to do this. I'll do it for you. Just hang on. I went over with my multimeter and I checked it real quick so you don't have to, but black goes to black, red goes to red, and yellow goes to white. So it's pretty straightforward. The only one that's different is yellow to white. Everything else matches up. Now, like I said, this is solder free. You don't have to use any solder. They give you these little crimp things. The way these work is you would push it on one end, push the other wire on the other end, and you'd smash both ends with a set of pliers, right? Easy, okay? Myself personally, I'm not a huge fan of these. I think they're fine for the most part, but I'm going to solder it. So first thing I did here, I did snip back and I got a little bit more exposed wire here. I'm going to put a piece of shrink wrap down here. You got to get this all prepped before you start. Now I need to make a couple of very small pieces for this. Or two little smaller pieces, and we'll run them down here. All I like to do is just get the wires a little twist together. I like these butane ones. Every electric one I've ever had seems to eventually explode and melt. It's all said and done, this will look very clean and nice. And now we'll move this big piece over all of it. Ah yeah, and look at that. That's pretty clean looking right there. You don't have to do that. I like to do that. It'll make it that much easier to sort of tuck everything in when we're done. This will sort of fit right here. Obviously that looks a lot better. Okay, well it works, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty bright right there. I'll put the hazards on, then I'll put them both on. God damn. Okay, that is stupid bright right there. It's programmable, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's cool. Shit, it's hard to look at. I like that one right there. All right, I got both sides on now. I'm just kind of tucking the wires back up in this little pouch here. There's plenty of room for the little bit you end up with a little bit of extra wire, not too bad. Oh my god, that looks cool. I want to make that one do this. Oh. I gotta stop looking at that. It's like I'm getting spots in my eyes. The goal was to replace that ugly ass crap with something that looks better but was also just as safe if not safer, and this is gonna be even better. We're running all LEDs now other than the headlight. These LEDs, they use a shit ton less power, they last way longer. Holy crap, they're bright. My eyes have spots. That front one, that photon's insane, man. Even this, look at this white light from the plate light. Holy crap. Wanna look at them in the dark? Let's do it. Look how it's lighting the whole garage up. Camera can't even focus, it's tripping balls right now. Hope you liked this first episode of the FC Bolt Shit On series, where we bolt shit on and we turn wrenches and whatnot. Pretty easy stuff to do. I think you can handle it yourself. Join me on the Bolt Shit On series for the FZ07. Till next time.
FZ07 Bolt Shit On series. I'm gonna turn a wrench. This makes me a customizer.
In my opinion, that sucked.